Hi, Tom. I'm so glad you're back.
Hey, I am too. Hello, world. I am here, finally getting set up, and my name is Tom Jones, and this is Today with Tom. A little bit late, but better late than never. So, we're going to be talking about some really good things tonight. And guess what? We're actually writing a book on writing some programs. We're actually studying, and I'm glad that I'm having a break. So from the world of study and the world of writing, again, what we do, I am a pharmacist, and we teach, we educate, and we consult. And we're right here looking at you right now on the world's biggest place. It's called Facebook Live. We're going all the way around the world, and we love it because we are here to help you. And tonight we're going to talk about some things that you probably know and maybe you don't know. And it's all about heartburn medicine and H2 inhibitors, and it's something we buy and take over the counter every single day. You know, medicine is a lot of interesting different ingredients, and medicine can heal you, but it can also hurt you. And sometimes you don't know all the different aspects of the medications. So we're here to help you learn and teach and become knowledgeable about things that are really important in life. And medications and drugs and over-the-counter, and most of these are over-the-counter drugs that you can walk into a Sam's or a Costco, a Walgreens or a Walmart or a community drugstore. And I, as a compounding pharmacist, love community drugstores. It's the backbone of America. So, and I am a scientist. I love clinical trials. I love to know what's going on inside the mechanics of the drug, the chemistry, the physiology. All of those factors play a role in how we stay healthy. So let's cut to the chase and get actually into something that we want to talk about really carefully and good tonight. And we're talking about, you ever heard of Zantac? How about Tagamet? How about all of the H2 inhibitors that we take by the bushel loads? And then we're gonna the Pepsid, the Axid. These are all drugs that were at one time by prescription only. But now, like I say, you can walk into any place and purchase these drugs. And they are drugs because they have active ingredients in them. And you need to know how they work. And of course, antacids, H2 inhibitors, which really they block the histamine release in the body, and they're commonly prescribed for heartburn and gastritis and GERD and peptic ulcers. These drugs can cause drug nutrient depletions. And hey, Norma Orel Matthews, hey, she's one of my followers, and she is back on tonight. Thank you so much. And her daughter takes Prilosec. Yeah, and oh my goodness, she can't get her off. So the drugs are drugs. So therefore, it's always good to know and be learned and be trained and be knowledgeable about the side effects and all the different aspects of that medication. And the first thing that I'm going to mention here is that the H2 inhibitors have properties that are good for the body, but they also take away from the body scenarios of vitamins and nutrients that we really need to make sure that we replenish in the body. And for example, antacids like Maalox and Mylanta and Gaviscon, they've been around forever. Then you've got the Tums, which is the Rolaids, the calcium carbonate products. And they act by buffering and neutralizing the acid pH in the stomach. And hey, Julie Fogelman Pearson, all right, what should you take for GERD? Well, we're talking about the drugs right here. We're talking about the over-the-counter, mostly drugs for GERD. And it really depends on what works best for you. And we're going to go over some of that. So stick around, stick around. It's going to be exciting because you want to know exactly what to do. And you want to have the best education in this arena. So you're right here with me live on Facebook Live. And around the world is the way it goes. So we can answer your question right here, live on the air, and we'll do our best to give you the best advice in the world. We're not doctors. I'm a pharmacist. I am a pharmacist that believes in double-blind studies. I like to know why, when, and where, and how. And if you do that, you will come up with the best ways. So, if doesn't it make sense to, if you're on a medication, you got to know everything about it. And proton pump inhibitors, which is the Prilosec was the original proton pump inhibitor. They're the most potent type of medication that actually reduce the acid production in the body, and they reduce acid production by up to 99% by decreasing the action of the proton pumps, which are part of the stomach's actual linings, acid-making machinery. So this, however, can strongly influence nutrient absorption in the body. So here's kind of the skinny on it. All right, you've got a product that actually lowers the acid in the body, and it does it pretty powerfully. And with that, you have the absorption of nutrients in the body. So anyone who's actually on these medications on a daily basis, and if you've been taking it 10 years, obviously you're on that continually. And you have to let your doctor know, you have to let them know that you're actually taking it. I would make sure to take a potent vitamin, a sufficient vitamin and nutrient to take back and put back into your body these nutrients that actually are being depleted by the body. So all of these ingredients can have an effect on your vitamin and mineral absorption. We're talking about the B1s, the thiamine. We're talking about folic acid, which is B9. So folates play a major role in, and I've got hearts going on the screen. Hey, Lionel Hines is on here. And we have Terry McLean. And she asked a great question. Can taking Nexium cause weight gain? Well, great question, and we'll come back to that in just a few minutes, so stay tuned. I'm not going to leave this Facebook Live broadcast until I give you probably the answer on that. All right, so we got B1, B9, we've got B12. Let me just tell you about vitamin B12. And this is, and Ed Hines, he just had an endoscope. He has to have an endoscope on September 13th, and he's taking famotidine, 20 milligrams, twice a day, Pepsin, twice a day. And he's been doing that for 3 years now. So, all right, you've got now 3 B complex nutrients that pretty well need to be replenished in the body. B12 is very important because that's pernicious anemia, and it's part of the homocysteine lowering agents in the body. If you don't know what homocysteine is, that's a risk factor pertaining to cardiovascular disease. So the higher the homocysteine, not so good. So you got to lower the homocysteine. You need B6, B12, folic acid to lower that amount. Also, folic acid has a major play in depression, fatigue, cardiovascular disease, Alzheimer's, osteoporosis, ulcers, insomnia, cancer. So I'm not saying it's going to prevent it, but it does and needs to be in the body. So you don't need anything causing a deficiency. Vitamin D, vitamin D3 is another nutrient that you need to have adequate amounts always in the body. And if you do, then you are protected. It builds your immune system. It does so many different factors for the body. So if you have a deficiency in vitamin D3, osteopenia, osteoporosis, and it does lower that immune system process. Calcium, you got to have strong bones. So calcium is another nutrient you have to be so careful in having enough in the body. Again, it's balance. It's not, we don't start out with a Nexium deficiency. We don't start out with a pepsid deficiency. We start out, obviously, with too much acid in the stomach. So that's why you're taking these medications. But if you take them too much, then you can have these nutrient depletions. So vitamin D, you've got calcium, which is so essential for lots of different aspects of the body. Again, you don't need too much calcium. So it's a balancing act. And Norma is asking, Miss Matthews is asking about, how about magnesium? Oh my goodness, you took it right out of my brain, right out of my mouth. Magnesium is so vitally important here. And so you have to have all of these in your body, and these have to be replenished, and the H2 inhibitors can decrease the amounts in the body. And Lionel is asking, what's the best vitamin C? You want a vitamin C that's buffered. You want a vitamin C that you can actually assimilate in the body, and you want a vitamin C that you can tolerate without it being too acidic. So the rule on vitamin C is you can take vitamin C, and when you get a tolerance level with too much vitamin C, you will actually have a little diarrhea. So vitamin C builds the immune system, and I highly recommend some vitamin C. Just if you are taking vitamin C, do not understand the body's response. If you develop diarrhea with it, you've actually reached your limit and you cannot take any additional. Probably 500 to 1,000 milligrams a day is a normal dose of the vitamin C. Magnesium is so vitally important in building that bone structure, is important in muscle cramps, heart irregularities, insomnia, hypertension, you name it, and magnesium, diabetes, osteoporosis, you've got sugar cravings, you've got depression. So magnesium is one of the ingredients in the body that you absolutely cannot have too little of, because it's magnesium, calcium, phosphorus. Those three need to be balanced. They need to be balanced so you don't run into kidney problems, you don't run into cardiovascular problems, you don't run into osteopenia, osteoporosis problems. Again, phosphorus. You gotta have phosphorus. And if you drink too many sodas, you will upset that balance. So potassium is so vitally important. These nutrients are things that you've got to have in your body, and when you're on any type of proton pump inhibitor or any type of antacid, you run the risk of having lower levels. And zinc is another one. Zinc is your loss of taste, it's the appetite, it's impaired immunity, it's actually growth retardation, skin changes, increased susceptibility to infection. So, you know what? There's a lot of things to be known here. Hey, Regina Whitaker, thank you so much for coming in tonight. It sounds like the regular crew. I didn't give you any notice. I've been in preparing, working on my new webinars. I've got more books out. I've got more material out. I'm putting it all together and I'm working. So I'm kind of glad to be out here, sitting here, talking to you because it's so good. And what about the best vitamin C? Again, it's really the vitamin C that you want to have. You want to have one that doesn't upset your stomach. And if you take too much, you will sure find out because you will develop diarrhea. And should I take natural, organic vitamin C or just any kind or type of vitamin C? Okay, the natural organic is more expensive, and it might be beneficial if you're having lots of GI trouble. So it depends really on how your stomach is able to absorb it, and the buffered and organic and all that are more expensive. So it depends on how your body takes it into your body. So I would probably start out, if you're having some GI issues, with a buffered organic form. That would be my preference, and you heard it here. And Ed says, lots of blood work. Hopefully we'll be back on Monday. First work found some elevated enzymes in the liver. So God bless you, Edward. I certainly hope things are a-okay. So let's put everything in, and your life right now is in turmoil. But you know what? The end of the day, I hope you're gonna be a-okay. So good luck, Ed Hines, and we are really praying for you. And this is, you want to have the best possible information in the world. Let's go back to the B1, B6, B12, the vitamin D3. We've got the calcium, we got the copper, we got that's right, I didn't mention copper. Copper is a trace mineral that you actually need in the body. It helps in certain situations as far as anemia, changes in hair structure, heart damage, growth retardation, impaired bones. So copper is an essential ingredient in even lung disease. Lots and lots of nutrients, lots and lots of items. And which magnesium is best? I like some of the more staple magnesiums. So I'll send you Norma, I'll send you a little personal message and pick out something that is really good. If I didn't answer any of your questions here pertaining to questions you had on the little timeline, I will do so in a personal message back to you. I'll have access to those. Again, these, we're talking about the H2 inhibitors. We're talking about the PPIs. We're talking about the Nexium, the Prilosec. These medications are strong medications. They aren't really intended for life, taking it all the rest of your life. I understand that there's lots of questions here. I think that the deal is, if you can get by without the medication, fantastic. But if you need it, you've got to actually take it. And you always want to do one other thing. You want to take the lowest possible dose. Let your MD, medical practitioner, whoever you are seeing as a practitioner, don't take these routinely forever and ever without your doctor knowing, because they have side effects. They may not have enormous side effects, but I tell you what, there's no drug in the world now that doesn't have side effects. It's inevitable because it's a synthetic chemical for the most part. So most of these are synthetic chemicals. They go into your body. They have to be processed by your liver. And it's so vitally important to know exactly what you're taking. If they block the acid in the stomach, or if they neutralize things, sodium bicarbonate is not the greatest thing in the world. It used to be a product called Alka-Seltzer, and it may still be on the market, but it essentially was aspirin. So with buffering agents in it. And when you buffer something too much, you can actually take too much. You need acid in your stomach in order to digest your foods. So if you're neutralizing all the acids, then you do run into a problem with some of the absorption. So if the medication is actually taking out nutrients, you've got to replace it. So again, how much water do you need to drink per day? My philosophy, and I recommend it all the time, I have my water right here. I'm glad you asked that question. I love it. I'm taking my, this is my water. I love water. Start out with 1 glass a day. Build yourself up to 8 glasses a day of good plain water. It's the best weight loss preparation you can ever put in your body. 2 glasses right before you eat a meal will actually decrease the amount of food that you put in your body. And you want to balance everything. Balancing is the name of the game. Balancing will keep you healthier, and it plays a major role. So, this has been a nice little session. I've had many people in tonight. My regulars are here. We'll probably have another little session in a few minutes. We're going to be talking about menopause. I don't know exactly what we're going to be talking about, but it's the things I'm writing about. So I will be able to give you some great new information on menopause. We're writing and developing our whole program. We're going to probably have a book on that. And we're going to have a whole series of wonderful things related to menopause. And we are here live. It's Facebook Live. These are our friends. We love what you want. We're doing what you want us to do. And we're educating, we're consulting, and we are coaching, helping you be healthier. And we love you. Have a good night, and I'll see you in a few minutes. Bye.